Hello, everyone.
Hi.
I am Casey Simmons,
And I'm Sloane Simmons.
and we are known as
The Stuff Sisters, pretty much.
the Stuff Sisters, pretty much.
Pretty much.
We did not make up that name. Our customers, followers, loyal peoples, all of that made up that name. This is a live happy hour with the Stuff Sisters. We are
Let's get the date, because it just seems like any day that ends in Y anymore.
is all
this
the
is
same
Thursday,
day.
June. Just a minute.
4th.
It's Thursday, June 4th, and we are in our store in Brookside, our brick and mortar store. I always would say brick and mortar
Yeah, brick and mortar.
because the online store is online,
Right.
and this is brick and mortar.
And this is brick and mortar.
And actually, the front of our building is brick.
There we are, son. Look,
With
that's
mortar.
us.
Mm-hmm.
That's us. That phone is filming us, and then it's showing up on my phone. Like
Is that how a TV works?
That's what
Because
they tell
everybody
me.
asks how TV works.
That's what they tell me.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So what we are doing is, okay. First, if you're joining us, grab a drink, mocktail, cocktail, whatever you like, whatever suits your fancy. We have some people jumping on right now, but Sloane and I this evening are drinking. What are we drinking this evening, Sloane?
Yes. We're drinking a delicious white wine. Delicious. Have you had a sip? It's
No,
delicious.
Let me have a sip and see if it's delicious.
I have to admit that I bought this bottle because I liked the label. I'm a blue girl, and this, see, totally loved the label.
That looks like you.
And someone
Totally
had
looks
told
like
me,
you.
somebody had told me that this wine
Yes,
was
I
delicious.
have to get something really quick, so I'll be right back. Could you keep them company?
Okay, I'm just gonna pour Casey a little bit more of the cocktail.
Because I've already had a sip.
Mm-hmm.
I've already had a sip.
Of
And
the deliciousness.
hi everyone. Hi everyone. Hi. I'm bringing Dakota a stool because I think he may want to sit.
So my son,
So he
my
has
son
a little
Dakota-
less up top and a little more down low of the picture.
My son Dakota is our cameraman.
Right.
It's a very fancy.
That way in the front they can see the stack of rugs, Dakota, if you see what I'm saying is maybe if we, I don't know, what do you think? Does that
Yeah.
work? I can't see it yet because we're on a lag.
We're on a lag.
It's like jet lag.
You're a lag.
You know what? I flew over there, I flew back, and now I have jet lag.
You have jet.
I have jet lag. That's what's going on. All right. Okay, everyone. So, Sloane, do we need to say some hellos?
You can say hello if you want to.
Yeah. Well, you want to say some hellos?
I'm not catching the hellos, so you're gonna.
You're
have
not?
to-
Okay. Look. I'm catching
Oh,
hellos.
there they are. I got it now.
Okay.
Ooh,
So, can you give us
Jessica.
some?
Jessica said, "Hi, Jessica.
Ah,
Hi, Shayna."
We got
Shayna's
someone from
Florida.
Virginia.
Yeah, in Virginia. Oh, hi, Lee. How are you?
Sloane's watching.
It's like we're doing the state game.
Sloane's watching. It says right there. Sloane's watching.
Sloane's
Are you watching? Or are you actually looking up
Watching.
here?
Well, it finally.
Were you watching or doing that? Okay.
I was watching
Okay. So tell me again because I really wasn't listening. What are we drinking?
this lovely wine from Portugal.
Ooh, I love wines from Portugal.
But
Ooh, I love Vino Verdes too.
this is a pretty good one. And like I admitted, I'm a blue girl, and I fell in love with the label.
Yeah, and what's good about Verdes is they're really crisp and tart. They're like a green. It's like the green apple of wines. You know how like all the red apples are kind of on the spectrum of sweet to tart, and then green apples like no. That's what a Verde is. I don't know anything about
Well-
wine. I made that shit up, but I think it is true on that one.
Do you know what I've learned about
What have
wine?
you learned?
Not much, but I mean, because I'm not a wine connoisseur. To be
Yeah.
honest, I'm a gin girl. But some wines, I understand from a lot of people who are wine people, you have to like them, and if you can find another way to still like them, like putting this wine on ice is not a no-no. It'd be like using this wine in a sangria and putting it on ice would be fine. So
Right.
you could just, if you love this wine and you wanted it to be crisper, put it on ice.
Right. So here's what I think about wine.
There's just no rules.
Here's what I think about wine in general. It's kind of like rugs and what we sell. Now you've said that. There are no rules about how you have to enjoy your stuff. I mean, pun intended, I guess. But I mean, if you want to drink your red wine cold and your white wine warm, and your sangria hot and or sangria cold, that is all like that is who you are. You do you. The same way, if you want to use a rug as a tablecloth, like I do all the time, that's
Do
me
it.
doing me. So that's cool,
Do
right?
it.
That'd work, right? Okay. So
I think Casey took her
Maria,
shoes off.
I just took my shoes off because I realized I was like this. I have these wedgie flip flops on today, so I was like this, and now I'm like this. I'm now my real height. So now it's Sloane, because in a lot of these videos I look taller than you, and technically I am not.
You're not.
I wear thick-soled shoes, so everyone thinks I'm as tall as Sloane, because being her younger sister, I'm always trying to, look up, reach up, try and get there to the first sister status. Probably not going to happen.
Good luck.
Good luck, right? Good luck, Chuck. Okay, so we started happy hours, Sloane. Why?
We started happy hours when we had to close our store for COVID-19. It was a very kind of, dark, it seemed like a very dark time. And even when we came to work, the lights were off and it was very dark in here. And this week, I'll be honest with you, hasn't felt much better.
Speak up a little louder.
This week hasn't felt much better. Is that
Thank
better?
you.
Should I go
I think
higher?
so. He's the one who said
Okay,
it.
he said that. And I'll tell you why. Because there's so much going on in our world, and I think it just is. It was hard for Casey and I to even be here today, although this is a blast. This is what we love on Thursdays, right? Are these happy hours, and we're not going to stop them. But it really made us this week be very introspective on just what we do here and how we see it as still very important and relevant in this world. I'm going to be 55 this year. I was raised by a mother who fought in the civil rights movement, and then we were raised in her equal rights amendment movement. And then my sister and I devoted an enormous amount of time coming out of that to the LGBTQ world and HIV/AIDS. And then what I realized yesterday in quiet time is that we've not done enough. That the nation, the world, us as a business, I guess, haven't done enough, because I sat back and looked at all of those and I thought, our mother worked in the civil rights movement and it didn't get done. And then she raised
Our
us.
work here is never done.
She raised us practically in Jefferson City at the Equal Rights Movement. I can still remember sitting on those steps working for the Equal Rights Movement, and we didn't get that done. And we're still not done with all of, it's Pride Month, for goodness sakes, right?
Yes.
It's like Pride Month,
Yes.
and we're still not done assuring everyone the freedoms that they need. And all of this made me think this week, with the death of that man in Minnesota and so many more before him, that our work is not done way back here. But what this store has always been about is about the beauty of life. We do not discriminate here. We are for all people of all kinds, and we will continue to be a happy spot, a place where you can come. We've been told over and over and over and over and over and over, right? That we are where people come when they feel sad to be made happy. But that still didn't make it easy to even do this today, right? Because it feels like this is just, our city we're protesting. And, my niece has been down to protest this week, and Casey and I have not gone to protest because we don't want to run the risk of being masked and getting sick because we have parents who are sick. So all of this kind of combobulates into happy hour.
Right. Well, right. And I'd like to say this.
It bubbles.
Yeah. I would like to say this, is that Sloane and I seldom sit down, literally, and we seldom just sort of, we're seldom without words, with each other or with others. And we know that about me more than Sloane even, but, all jokes aside, we just stood there looking at each other today, and then we slowly sat down across from each other and we said, the truth was, I was like, I'm not up to this. I'm not up to getting on the camera and, doing all sorts of happy things and because I don't feel super jolly inside right now. My heart hurts. It hurts. I'm hurting. We're both hurting, and we've been talking a lot about that with each other, but also one of the reasons we decided to come on the air today,
On
of
what
all
our dad
days,
calls the show.
yeah, is because we have always, it's not new, we're not making a new statement. We have always been a safe space and a safe place for anyone and everyone, no matter what they were born into or what they chose for themselves. We celebrate everybody and everything.
Every day.
It does not matter if it was a choice in life or it was a choice you didn't get to make in life. We are a safe place and a safe space for that. We also reflect that with who we represent, who we service, and what we sell. We have always tried to have work that represented all types of people. And I'm going to tell you the truth. It's hard sometimes to find African American or Black Santas. I'm just going to tell you that. But we go the extra mile to do those things. I'm not bragging. I'm just saying we've been aware that we need to make sure that everyone who shops here is reflected in some way in this store. And I want to make one other really strong statement, and then we're going to do what we do best.
What are we going to do?
We bring joy. People have told us that we are an experience. We bring joy, inspiration, an opportunity for people to shift how they think or feel, or just a place where they feel like they're being embraced and warmer, even if they're having a bad day. We've talked about every difficult subject along the way, and we are not going to be afraid of systemic racism either. We will talk about what we need to talk about. But I want to make something very clear, very clear. Human rights are not political. No. Period. Human rights are human rights, and there is nothing political about that. So, Black Lives Matter, period. Period. No argument.
End of discussion.
End of discussion, right? And we as individuals will continue to do what we can do, and we will do more, and we will dig deeper, and we will be part of the conversation. We will also give space for the conversation to not be from us, to be from the people who need to be speaking right now. But we also know that something everyone should know. This is not a political issue. This is a human rights issue, and we will be on the right side of history no matter what. Okay?
This great little Stormbrook side.
This great little Stormbrook side.
There you go.
So, there you go. No judgment. We're moving forward, but we are going to bring you guys, we're going to try. I'm not going to guarantee anything at this point. We're going to try to keep bringing you joy and happiness and laughter and happy hours, because our best self-care right now for all of us, watching, standing, filming, take some time for yourself and laugh a little, have some joy, look for the good in life, because that will help you dig deeper to do the hard work, because life is magical, and we need to make sure it's magical for everyone.
So save up your energy and go out there and fight like hell.
Oh, sister.
So I have some thank
You know I'm going to.
I have some thank yous and
Okay.
hellos. I want to say hello to Marla and Rochelle, Sarah Owen. Hi, Sarah Owen. Miss you, love you. Claire Pertalion, love you. Betsy Kirk, thank you. Kirk would probably want us to know you're one of a kind.
You're one of a kind, Kurt.
There you go, one of a kind.
So,
Mm.
and as we,
Isn't that a delicious wine with the blue label?
you know, I really like that one. We should have that again.
You're gonna probably photograph that label before we're done.
I'm just gonna buy one on the way home.
Out.
So that way I can't forget it. So we are going to tonight's show, as our dad likes to call it, is the theme of it. It's episode
17?
17.
17.
Like 17 magazine we used to read.
Like
when
your
we were
age.
young. Yeah, like my age times something.
Times 2 or 13.
Something like that.
3.
You know what? You
What?
keep it to yourself, mathematician. You keep it to yourself, Dakota. We decided, because we themed it, we are all in this together.
Which we
is
are.
very interesting to me, because how the universe works in this whole thing is that became the call during the beginning of the COVID situation, and now I think it rings just as true today, even more so.
Mm-hmm.
We are all in this together, so we decided to have the show theme that. Because our hearts are hurting,
Mm-hmm.
and because we're open tomorrow at noon, right?
We were open today. We had great customer
Oh,
service.
this was by appointment day. We had lots of appointments, so that was wonderful. Keep those coming, guys. We really enjoy this. So because Julie's new to our show. Because it's gonna be a little different today, Julie. I'm just explaining why. Because our hearts are hurting. Because
Hi, Josh.
the world is hurting. Because the Kansas Cityans are hurting. Because we're all in this kind of space where we're all in this together. So I decided to do something a little different today.
We did.
We are going to ask questions.
A couple, not that whole highlighted list.
No, don't worry.
No.
We're gonna ask
right back.
I'm gonna ask her some questions. She's gonna ask me some questions. They're random. We pulled them off the interwebs. We just kind of put in like 10 fun questions to ask, or 10 interesting questions, and we did like for creative types. We're gonna ask questions. So what we're also going to do is, if you guys would like to ask a fun or interesting question, or if you want a product to be featured today, or if you want us to go get something or tell you about something, we will be happy to do that. But we're inviting you to ask questions. And so to get this ball rolling, and we're thinking about doing this in the future too also, guys, with like submitted questions, and we may pull them out of a jar or something like that.
Mhm.
If you'd be into that idea too,
People
let
have
us
been
know.
asking us to do this, and I have to admit I've been a little.
Yeah, we've been like,
Who
yeah,
really
it's
wants
not
to
really
hear
about
from
us.
us?
I don't know. So we're going to try it today, kind of as a test, and also kind of as a way for us to connect with each other, to connect with you in a very human way, authentic way.
The chance to connect with you is just wow. It's huge. It's just full of opportunity.
Yes, yes.
It's like I feel I've never met you before.
You know what? You may not know my answers to these questions.
Mary Ann Getchell's on here. And
Did
she's
you?
going to be a grandmother.
Let's clap for Marianne!
She's
She's
gonna
gonna
be
be
a
a grandmother!
grandmother.
answers to these questions.
Right.
Maybe we should try that. Maybe I should write down my answer and kind of like that. That's a Newlywed Show.
I was just gonna
Holy
say, if
shit.
you've done this, no, we're not doing a Newlywed Show.
We're not doing the Newlywed
because
Show?
we're not going to get married.
Yeah, that would be creepy and weird. Okay, we did say we were a safe space for all people.
Well, that's just.
But I'm just saying
not
we're
getting
gonna
married.
we're gonna leave that
I
one out.
am married.
Mhm, yes, I am not.
That still means you can't marry me.
No, that means I won't.
Thank you.
Marry you.
Appreciate that.
Sloane.
Cheers to this not getting married.
That's it. Let's get on with the
Cheers
questions.
to not getting
Does
married.
anyone have any questions? Because we're gonna start. Ready?
We're gonna start.
Oh, Dakota, contact info. I think that's a good idea.
But if you have questions for us, just type them onto your screen and then we're gonna read them.
Okay.
We are.
Right.
Oh, and you know what? Okay, I'll talk about that later.
You will. What do you want to talk about?
No, I was gonna say over there I put the hand sanitizer because we're ripping through it again.
Oh yeah, the hand
Because-
sanitizer.
Given everything that's
Hand
going on in
cleanse.
America, COVID-19 is still with us.
Yeah.
Where
The
I was
virus.
fully masked today, and look at how clean my face is where my mask is. Look,
Oh, we've got a question.
look, how clean. Where
See,
I wear my mask,
I'm
it's like
getting the opposite.
no, it's a steam
You're getting
bath.
like a steam bath, and I'm getting like
Yeah.
problems. Okay, problem skin. Okay, so I'm gonna ask you a quick question, and then we're gonna ask some of the questions they're asking. Okay, so first, what do you do to get into your creative zone?
Okay, so
And you can tell them it's not necessarily here. Like
Yeah, it's
one
not
of you-
here.
Okay.
I mean I do creative things here, but not really.
Oh, we'll show you more of those.
I write. I'm trying to write a book, and I have. It's been taking me a long time, but to get in my creative zone, I actually have to get very quiet and be entirely by myself. I don't need music on. The dog can visit if he wants to, but I have to be totally in a mind frame.
Okay, and what are you usually doing creatively when you're in that zone?
Writing.
Writing. Yeah.
The book that I've been writing for a long time.
So, like location-wise,
I'm usually
can you be anywhere, or do you have to be also in like a private office at home?
Yep.
Okay. So,
Office at home. Which I can't write it off. You know, tax reasons, office at home has
Okay.
a code. I don't write
Okay.
off my writing time.
okay, I'm gonna ask questions for both of us, and then I'm gonna have you ask a question off the screen if you want, Sloane. It's up to you.
Sure.
Kirk wants to know what are our biggest peeves. I'm gonna drink
Okay.
while you answer.
Okay, one of my biggest peeves, honestly, Kirk.
I don't have
for
no
asking.
idea where this is going. I'm a little nervous.
One of my biggest peeves is particular words that are overused. It is in the last 10 years as we've all kind of gone everything to our phones and all of that, all of the typing and all of that. When you hear a word and then it becomes everybody's word, the first one that did this to me, I mean, I could just poke my eye with a pencil. Dashboard. Do you remember dashboard? Oh, let me just real quick, I'm gonna check it on my dashboard. Like you had a light that was on a dashboard. Then there was, oh lordy, it's been a couple years, it was a really good one. Impactful. Had a real problem with impactful.
Yeah, she did. She got a little twitch at
I get
times.
like a little, so Kirk, that
Yeah.
would be my peeves. Words that are, to me, almost seems like they're made up. Made up words, we've talked about this before. So that would be one of my pet peeves. You?
Pet peeves.
Answer Kirk's question.
Pet peeves. Oh, here's one. Come on, people. Why do you gotta pull the dip from the middle of the bowl? If you pull from the outer edges and you're always carving towards the middle, it'll stay nice and level as this go down, and you don't get that core out problem where the guacamole starts to get dried out on the side, or the dip, or
Brown.
whatever, or brown, whatever. If everyone agrees to do the same technique,
So
so
you know
little
that's-
swoop, right?
That's physics.
Well,
That's
yeah, what I'm
science
saying
right
is,
there.
this is not hard stuff. Like, this should be like manners 101. That should be taught in grade school.
Dip.
How to properly pull a dip, a chip through a dip. 'Cause
But if
like,
you
it's
do
a
a chip,
nice,
Do a chip, you've also got to do a carrot because you've got
And-
two different circles.
and I'm going to tell you this. If you swoosh to get the amount you want as it builds up on your chip or cracker, it is about 99% less likely to break. When you scoop, they're not designed to do that. When you scoop, it snaps off, right? You know this. But when you swipe,
That's just true.
you don't have that problem. And you don't have all those nasty, like, soft chip pieces, because you know the people who break them off, they just bail. At a party, you know, the ones who sneak in there and they don't use a spoon or whatever, they just bail, and then they leave it there, and then you're the one who gets that on your plate, and you're like, ugh. Okay. So I think that's a true pet peeve there. So there you go.
That's it.
Right?
Those are good peeves.
Okay. Sloane, do you have a one on here that you saw?
No, we're good. Rochelle had one, but she said we kind of answered it.
How did we answer it?
I talked about going to a quiet spot. She said we've kind of answered it. So now we can go to your list.
Oh, that's not the same way I do it. I do the kind of
Well,
opposite.
then do it.
No, it's all right.
This is it. Go for it.
Oh my God, Kirk says shit now he has an anxiety about snacking. It's best to practice this alone first. So like get yourself a little dip if you're on to kind of practice on your own until you're ready to go into the group setting.
This is why Casey and I are not getting married, Kirk.
Right, yes. So Laura says she just learned how to eat dip. Claire said she's cracking up. And everyone, note to self, never eat dip with Casey. I'm a judgy on the dip. Okay, Sloane, you want to ask me off the form?
Judgy, little tiny bit judgy on the dip.
No, I'm actually trying to help everyone have the best experience with their chip and dip.
Casey, that's a power.
It's a much, no, that's, and there's more to go around if you don't waste any.
Right?
You know nobody wants that weird crusty edge that turns into that ruffle. You know it.
I know, you're
Okay.
right. You're right. This is why when you come to my house, I usually have the dips on the chips.
And
already.
if your host comes to refill the dip and they're using the same container out of the fresh container, if it's already smooth, they don't have to mix that stranded dip into the good dip. Okay, go ahead.
Wow. Okay, here we go.
You're gonna pick one for me? I'm gonna answer. Oh, someone said they love this basket. We have some of these in, and so we have them. So if
Later
you're-
we'll zoom over on them.
yeah. Okay.
We'll have Dakota Walker and do it later. Okay.
All right. Question for Casey.
Question for Casey.
Yes, I'm ready.
Casey.
Yes. Slow.
This is number 4 on the list.
Number 4. I'm gonna get my hair ready.
What
Okay.
do you do to keep yourself motivated and interested in your work?
In my work?
In your work. What do you do to keep yourself motivated and interested
In my work. Well, okay. First, it depends on what part of my work I'm doing. But I do like images and visuals a lot.
Yes. You're a visual learner.
I'm a visual learner. I also am a visual creative. I also create visuals for others. So a lot of my work is all in the visuals. So what helps me kind of get the juices flowing, right, is I have very specifically curated my Instagram feed. I may have a private one out there too. My Instagram feed and things like that, and I go to certain other places and look at their feeds and things like that. I also
New concept. Go ahead, keep talking. Nothing to see here.
So I look at a lot of things that keep the creativity and ideas kind of always in there. I notice sometimes that I'll even execute something in the store on display or something, and I know it was inspired somewhere, but I can't remember exactly where, but I know it was inspired, it's my original creation. It was inspired somehow, and I can't put my finger on it, and later I may even see it. I do a lot of saved stuff on Instagram. I do not like Pinterest anymore. I think it's gotten kind of junky looking on the feed and all that. I like the crisp and easiness. I read magazines, and I'm still the person who rips out pictures and tapes them or tacks them up everywhere in my life until it like absorbs. A lot of books. A lot of books. So visuals.
Visual learner.
I'm a visual learner. Yes.
Okay.
So it's all visuals. I gotta soak in some visuals. That and I love color. Oh God, do I love color. Okay.
So we have a couple
What's
people
next?
to say hello to.
Yes.
Caroline. And
Caroline, hi.
Of course, say hi. And Laura Hill, hello. Thank you for joining us. That's exciting to have you all with us. And just feel free anytime later tonight when this show is over, as our dad calls it, the show.
The show.
When the show is over, you can go back, and if you want to have a drinking game, in this previous section before we got into creative energies, you could have a drink every time Casey said dip.
Yeah, that's the midsection.
Smashed.
Because the first section,
But you'd be smashed over dip.
yes, but if you've just arrived, I want to say something. The first section of our happy hour today talks about what's going on in the world. If you would like to hear us talk about that for any reason, you can go back and watch that later. We're not going to repeat it.
But
It
the
was very,
tutorial on dip is there in the middle.
yes, but it was very emotional beginning, and I don't want to go back to that because now we
No,
said
we
why
don't.
we're going to go into the fun
No,
fun
we
zone.
don't
We're in the
go
fun zone. I stay in the fun zone, but that information is at the front, kind of our statement or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Sloane?
So if you have any questions for us while we do our Q&A today, type them on your screen and we'll do our very best to answer them.
Okay.
Nothing too
If-
personal, and I don't know my blood type.
Sloane,
What?
if you had to start over, would you choose a different path in your career?
I don't know if I choose a different path in my career,
Or a
But I-
different career?
but I probably would have taken more learning courses. I probably wouldn't have done trial by error learning. I probably would have sought out, and I probably still could, because I'm only going to be 55. More institutional type learning.
Formal.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know if I have a different career. That's a hard one. You know, the hypotheticals. You know how I am with hypotheticals. This is like a hypothetical in it.
I guess my question, because this is the problem with asking me questions, is I always have another question before I can answer the question, which is, does this assume that I can have any skill set I want, or does it assume that I'm the person I am today? For example, like
being the person you are.
Like I'm like, all right, well, I'd want to be an Olympic ice skater, right? Like, why not? But I don't. That's not in my skill set, and probably never would be, even if I trained for it, because I did in my bedroom in my socks.
And you were good.
And I had like, I mean, I was up to like.
Which Olympics was it that you were in your socks?
Well, first I was the gymnastics. What age would I have been when?
Nadia.
When I had the back of the chairs were my balance beam and my pommel horse, even though I know I was competing in both.
You would have been around 10.
7 or
you'd have been about
Dakota?
76 or 80.
76 or 80. So I would have been like, well, not born, of course, because I'm so young. No, okay, I would have been
68. You would have been 10.
I would have been about 10 years old.
I nailed it.
I used to use baby powder to prepare for the back of the sofa, the back of the 2 chairs that kind of made the sofa. And my mother's like, hey, it's one thing if you're going to do like stunts on them. It's another thing if you're going to powder them first. And I was like, Mom, all good gymnasts powder before they go onto those apparatus.
It's the Nadia Comaneci.
And so
the armpits.
I even had a leaping land on the beam on the back of the chair, which you had to do just right because you had to have your younger sister weighting the chair down. Otherwise, the whole chair went boom. So that was a whole nother learning curve.
It's true.
So yeah, so that would be my like how would I answer that question type.
So 40 years ago, you might have been an Olympic gymnast.
Yes, but then I moved on to skating because Mom said, get off the damn furniture and stay off of it. So I moved to my room. I had this big room with wood floors, and so I put on my socks, like 3 pair, and I learned skating routines in my room. I was up to 6 rotations. Just saying. Okay. All right. So now, what should we do next? Is there a question on?
No, there's no questions, but I'm going to say a couple hellos. Hi, Rachel. How are you? Oh my gosh, the rugs aren't there yet. I was going to ask how the rugs are.
Suzanne's reminded me that you wanted to be a microphone holder.
I'm going to be one.
Remember?
Only for Greg Racer when he becomes a senator. I'm so excited about that. Hi, Wendy. Hi, Megan.
Okay,
hi,
so
Barbara.
Barbara Sloane says she has always loved the store look. Would you ever share pics of your home offices or studios? She's trying to recreate hers.
Sure.
Okay.
Sometime we will.
I don't know. Okay. I'm going to say this. Our workspaces and our homes it's very funny because if you took kind of all the aesthetics of all 4, so her workspace, my home, her home, studio space, whatever, and you like kind of like them together, that would be the store. So the store is like a little bit of Casey, a little bit of Sloane, a little bit of Casey, a little bit of Sloane, all mixed together.
But a whole lot of rock and roll.
But a whole lot of... Okay. And pictures are hard because I'm not sure they're always reflective. But here's what I will tell you. We have a fantastic book, I don't know if we have it in stock, about this very thing, Barbara, and I will try and track it down for you and get you a copy.
In the Company of Women?
Well, in the Company of Women is very good because they talk about how they do stuff, but there's another one about spaces, creative spaces. I will try and find it. I have it at home in my workspace, and I'll give it to you. But here's the real key to workspaces. All jokes aside, you do you. Because workspaces and creative spaces are supposed to be a reflection and an extension of you. So you just start somewhere and you just go with it. There is no right and wrong. There is no good or bad. And I have looked at, there's another one, remember the book about messy spaces? There is no rules here. This is really, if you're going to have a studio or workspace for yourself, you don't need to worry about what anyone else sees or does. But we will try and send some pictures out just to look inspirations of doing things or whatever. But again, I'll try and find that book for you. So there you go. But you do you, and I mean authentically you. No apologies needed.
Maybe we could post a couple pictures over the next couple weeks, maybe on our Instagram feed.
And there's probably some out there if you go back far enough. We have pictures of us in our offices at different times. It's a wreck right now. Normally, we're not messy people. But our office is a little messy.
But our cork boards over our desks and even.
We do our cork boards. We have those cork boards over our desks with our personalities. Okay. So is it my turn to ask you a question?
Oh, jeez.
Or your turn to ask me?
You can ask me if you want.
Well, you did the career one, so I think it's your turn to ask me, maybe.
Maybe.
I don't know.
I have no idea.
I don't know. I'm going to drink while she decides. Does anyone else want to drink with me? Cheers, everyone!
Do you ever create hidden meanings or messages in your work? Meaning your artistic work,
Me?
not here.
Oh,
Yeah.
that is my artistic work.
Yeah, but you also paint.
I am going to answer this twofold. One is in my personal artwork that I create, that I have created to sell before. I haven't done it recently. Yes, there are hidden messages. They are usually patterns and different things that represent numbers, and those numbers represent something else. Does that make sense? So yes, all the time.
But not like playing the Beatles record backwards.
No.
Okay.
No, there's no. Okay.
And then
So,
bit the dust.
yeah. Now, at work,
I
I want you guys to know there are tons of hidden messages in here that bring me endless joy, that crack me up to no end. Little like, oh my God, if you really think about it, if you put this next to this, that's kind of like an inside joke to me, that kind of stuff. Or like,
You've never shared these with me, which is great because then I don't have
oh,
to
they're
know.
hidden all over the store, and they are
Perfect.
my own. That is one of the things that keeps my creative juices flowing, is the joy I get from making something look amazing for you guys. You don't understand. My zen,
Nerd out.
my true meditation, my true like zen moment is if the store's closed and the music's off and the fans are on, so it's just kind of a hum,
And I'm gone.
and everyone's gone, and I have the store to myself, and I have a lot of stuff to merchandise, and I'm just left to my own devices, and then I just go in the zone.
She's in the zone, people.
Sometimes if you've ever been in the store and you've talked to me and I seem like I'm like totally spaced out, it's because I'm actually in a mini zone, like a calzone,
That's Grandpa.
like a mini calzone. I'm in like my mini zone right then because I can literally tune out. I have the capacity to tune out everything going on around me if I need to.
Oh, I totally can. Customers will say, "Oh my gosh, I love this song," and right then my brain will go,
There's a song.
"There's a music playing in the store," and I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah." Most days I don't even hear it, except when I had a youngster who's now a cameraman and has his
And a
master's
master's.
degree
Has a master's
and his
degree.
own company, but
Yes, other than that.
thankfully helps his mother and his aunt. But when he was little,
Mhm.
and I had to drive carpool in the afternoon on a
Mhm.
dirty pickup, he was
Mhm.
I was never the first mother in line, ever, ever, ever.
Me either.
There was a song that played here that if I was doing my work and I heard that song come on, I would instantly look at my watch and go, "I gotta go."
Okay.
And that's on our music loop.
Right.
And
Okay.
I would think, I don't even know the song, but if it plays now, honestly,
Right.
and he's been out of school, out of where I've driven him anywhere for 8 years, it seems like, I'd be like, I look at my watch and go, "Oh, my heart goes, I gotta go carpool."
The dog's barking to this very thing, so I was going to tell you a
Come on.
story about the dog. Jen, did you know I was going to tell a story about you? Okay,
Yes.
I'm trying not to insult you, honestly.
You can insult me.
I don't hear the music, like it doesn't exist to me. I'm not an audible person, we've already established I'm a visual person. But my dog knows the music track, and the music comes on at the exact same times, approximately shade, like for like 2 weeks, and then it switches and it mixes around. But when he hears the carpool song, as I call it, he comes and sits by my desk and waits for me because he knows I'm going to run into the office, grab all my stuff, and go get my daughter from school. And he's always waiting. And sometimes he'll start pacing. I'll like, wonder why the dog's pacing. And I'll realize, oh, it's almost time.
It's almost time to go carpool.
So he's like you, he's audible.
Carpool never leaves.
And he barked to make sure we knew that he was
ready.
part of the story.
He's ready.
Okay, do you have another question? Does anyone have a question for us?
Nope. You can.
Oh, Suzanne says hi.
Hi,
Hi,
Chance.
Chance.
Oh, Amy's watching. Hi, Amy.
Amy, who? I missed it.
She's right here. Amy Dominguez.
Oh, okay. I didn't see that one. Hey, Robin.
And we said hi to
Winnie.
Winnie.
Okay, I didn't
and
hear that.
Caroline. Caroline,
Okay.
it's so nice to see you on the Facebook.
Okay, Sloane.
Yes.
What is your favorite color?
Blue.
Does this color describe you as a person?
Yes.
Please explain.
Oh, jeez, oh, Pete. I'm going to read these in advance next time. This is a trick.
Isn't this fun?
Okay, why? Blue. Well, I just love blue. Not only that because my grandmother signed it to me. You got green, which you don't
Not
care
my
for.
color.
But she gave me blue and I loved it. But to me, blue is the ultimate in blue skies and above all else, swimming pools. Because I absolutely love to swim. I love water. And to me, the feature of blue is that it is, and I'm sure this is wrong, it might be the reason that they don't paint it in hospitals or something, or care facilities. To me, it is soothing, it is cool, it is, to me, sometimes colors have shape, and blue is very rounded. To me, I don't know why, it just is. Sometimes I tell my husband I see a color, and it to me it has a shape, like orange. I like the color orange. I'm not crazy about the color orange.
Just being kind.
Because it was one of my colors in high school, and orange and black were our colors in high school, and because of that, I mean, I may have liked orange before because the Miami Dolphins. Remember turquoise and orange on the Miami Dolphins?
Turquoise.
Oh,
Turquoise.
blue. Turquoise is a blue.
I like my favorite color is turquoise, but I like the blue version of turquoise more than I like the green side.
To me, colors can have shape. So blue is very rounded and smooth and cool and soothing, and I totally dig the color blue. I mean, it's bad.
I can verify.
Yes.
Big time.
Hence the reason that I bought this bottle of wine.
We're
It had
drinking
a
the wine.
blue label.
The wine we're drinking tonight was chosen because it had a blue label.
Yes.
Right.
So did I explain?
Yes, you did. You did. I think you did a great job. I'm going to look here.
Thank you. And I'm going to pick a question for you.
Okay. So, Sloane, do you have a question for me?
I'm going to do it right now.
Okay.
I said I was going to get your
Oh,
question
I
for
didn't
you.
hear you. I was reading something.
If you could become one of your works of art that you just talked about a minute ago, if you could become one of your works of art, which one would you have chosen and why?
One of my own works of art or
Yes.
a work of art I sell?
How about a work of art? Just pick it, but I would think it'd be one of the ones you made, but you could be one of the ones here. I don't care.
Okay, if it's a piece of art that I made, it's one of my water series paintings that was my favorite. It sold years and years and years ago. To me, that was like just like to become water, to become water, to become water. If I would choose to become a work of art of one of the pieces of art we sell, I would want to become Nikita.
Absolutely.
And that is because Nikita,
We'll shoot a picture
the
of it.
painting just captures constant swimming and movement.
And you'd be in the water all the time.
Well, and it's very playful, and I'm kind of playful.
You're kind of playful.
And I'm kind of like, and they just look so happy, and just, it's so awesome. Do you guys want to see Nikita real quick in case you haven't seen Nikita? Let's go down
Casey's
here.
going to take you to
Dakota,
Nikita.
I'm going down here. I would want to be this work of art, which I hope would make me for Nikita's, but if I could be for Nikita's, that'd be cool too. But this piece of art right here, I'd want to be this piece of art, because look at that. You can see all the different temperatures of the water by the color. You can see the bubbles. You can see the movement and how the water bends, which it doesn't really do, by the way.
But the artist said it
And
did.
look at the piece. Look at the piece on Nikita's face and that big paw. And, oh, yeah, that would be it. That would be it, Slum.
That's it, Nikita.
I know some people want to be like some amazing sculptor of some like
vessel.
like Venus. I want to be like Venus or whatever. Nope. I want to be a polar bear in a
Okay,
painting.
perfect.
In a painting with a perfect world.
I want to be a polar bear. I want to be.
That's what it is. Okay.
I would. I can see that. And it would be cool water, cold even if we're lucky.
Some.
Right?
Oh,
Cold water.
right now.
I cannot stand.
I could do a plunge right now.
I cannot stand a warm swimming pool.
All right.
Ugh.
All right.
But there's. No, I'm not gonna go into it. I was gonna go
Just
down the.
say
No,
it.
I was gonna
Just
go
say
down
it,
the
'cause
swimming
now-
pool rabbit hole.
Why? Because if a pool's warm, what do you think has gone on in that pool?
Well, somebody's peed in it, but
There you go.
my
I
whole
knew
thing-
that's where she was
my
going.
whole thing with warm swimming pools is why? That's called a bathtub, and you can do that at home. Swimming pools that aren't at least a little bit chill. Oh boy. Anyway, but I digress. There's a dog coming. We're gonna.
The dog is barking again because we're at the store now, and a dog walked by, and he thinks he's saying hello.
Hello.
Chancy, we're not talking to people right now. We want to do up, up. Here, Dakota, if you pull that ottoman out and say up, up, he'll come join us for a little bit.
I'll do it for you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Casey,
Casey, pick
go
your
ahead.
next question.
Okay. Is it your turn? I think it's my turn. It's my turn to ask,
We
right?
don't know.
Whose turn is it to ask? Does
Chancy,
anyone know?
Up. There he is.
This is Chancy. Okay, Chancy, lay down. No, not over there. Not here. Just lay down there.
Just lay down.
Lay down.
Good boy.
Turn around and face Dakota.
Go see Dakota.
Lay down and
Hi.
face Dakota. Here.
He thinks he's at a meeting.
Yes.
This is how he acts when he's at a meeting.
Okay, here. Lay down.
boy.
Lay down.
Good
Stay.
boy.
There you go. Stay. Stay.
Good boy.
Good boy.
That's our baby.
That's mama's baby.
That's our baby.
That's mama's baby. That's white. Look at Dakota. Dakota, if you make noises, he may actually respond. Okay. Slum.
Mm-hmm.
How do you manage to stay both personal and original in your creative endeavors?
How do I stay what?
Personal personal and original in your creative endeavors?
Well,
I was going to
okay,
say
I'm
real
gonna
quick,
go back.
that's kind of a dumb question for us. I mean, we're just
Well,
kind of us. Anyway, go ahead.
We don't call the people's questions dumb.
No.
Dumb. Well, as I said earlier, if I have a creative side of my life, I would call it my writing, and I think by definition, writing is usually pretty personal. I mean, I'm not trying to be anybody else. I mean, I do think good writers are also good readers, and we all pick up ideas, but maybe that's just how to tell a story better, not necessarily the story.
I think some writers are like writing as someone else and sort of actually literally hiding themselves. Your work is all
well, it's memoir,
personal.
But still, even if I weren't doing that, I think everybody has like a personal style that they write in.
Do you think that when you were younger than now, that you were more conservative with like what you said in your personal writing than you do now?
Totally.
Yeah.
You turn 50 and it's all.
You just
Who
what?
cares?
You just
anymore?
don't. You don't care anymore.
You
Okay.
don't care anymore.
All right. We have a question from the crowd, Sloane.
You don't care anymore.
When we were younger, everyone when they're young always wants a different name.
Mm-hmm.
When you were a kid, okay, or I was a kid, what did us guys want to change our names to?
Okay, I can't speak for myself because I don't think I ever wanted to be anybody but my name because it was a great name because you can't change it. You can't make it into Amy or Lolly or whatever. Our dad wanted to be called Rusty.
Yes, he did.
His name is Gary, and he wanted to be called Rusty, and he signed his schoolwork Rusty. He did an art project, and he drilled into a wood piece, and he brought it home to his mother, and it said Rusty. I mean, Rusty's a great name.
Okay.
I can see, but me personally, I don't think I ever wanted. I mean, never.
Okay. Here's what's funny.
I loved it when my niece started calling me Lala.
Yeah.
That was fun.
That was fun. That wasn't a signed name. It wasn't something you wanted.
Yeah, but
she gave it to you, and then therefore you wanted it.
And then
Okay.
she would say, Lala.
Go ahead.
Lala, what I'm doing?
What am I doing?
What I'm doing, Lala.
I'm gonna go ahead and admit this now. So Casey is not actually my real name. Casey is my nickname. I've been called Casey since the day I was born. My nickname is so ingrained that my social security, have another drink, Casey.
One of a kind.
My social security card says Casey Simmons. It originally said just Casey Simmons only, because my mom had called me that my whole life, and when she went to go get our social security cards, she knew the person at the county courthouse so well that she just said, you know, hey Betty, whatever, girls need cards, and she just filled them out. So I've never really been called by my real name, which we can talk about that later. But I had a real nickname. So in junior high, I think it is, you decide you want a nickname, or maybe right before that, 5th and 6th grade, right? I think that's what our viewers talking about, Claire's talking about. So I came home and I told my entire family they had to start calling me Charlie, which we know, we have a former employee just named her daughter Charlie. I said Charlie, and it was because of that perfume that came out at that time, Charlie perfume.
That was a great perfume.
It was a great perfume, and I wanted it so bad, but I couldn't get it, so I just wanted to be called that instead. So I was so insistent. I mean, I was determined that my mom, I overheard my mom saying as I was coming down to dinner to the rest of the family, just call her Charlie. It will pass, right? And I was like, no, it's not gonna pass. So we come in, they call me, the whole family starts calling me Charlie. So then finally my mom sends me out a couple days later and says, hey Casey, come here. I said,
Charlie.
My mom.
Did she say Casey or did she say
She said
Charlie?
Charlie, come here. You're right. I want to ask you a question. Why do you want to be called Charlie? And I said, well, Mom, everyone at school has nicknames. I'm the only one without a nickname, and I want a nickname. And she goes, honey, 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 come here to Mama. She said, just so you know, you're actually the only one with a nickname. Where are you going?
Where are you going?
Can't see? That's your butt in the film. You want to get down?
You want to get down? Go the
Get
other
down.
way.
Go the other way, baby. It's safer to go the other way.
Come on, this way. Come on, get down.
There you go. Get down.
Come on.
Or
Okay,
just
or just lay down.
Lay down.
Lay down.
Good boy.
So she said Casey actually is a nickname, which I knew, but I just hadn't ever registered.
You're
that
telling
Casey-
everybody that you were slow.
Right. That Casey was actually a nickname, and I was the only one who had a real one. And so I went back to school the next day. I was like, I have a real nickname, and it's Casey. And they're all like, what ifs, right?
Because your real name, somebody asked on the screen, her real name is Catherine Allison Simmons.
You weren't supposed to tell anyone that.
I have to.
No, because now I don't
Why?
have that is my alias.
That's not an alias.
And
It's
you
your
don't have to give
name.
them my middle name.
Why? It's a beautiful name.
What's your full name?
S. Sloane Simmons.
No, you tell them now what your whole name is. Because you just
I got
outed
it.
me.
No,
So I'm outing you.
No.
You go ahead and tell them your full name. Aha!
Uh-huh.
Sunk your own battleship. You know, you don't have to tell them if you don't want to. I respect your
Wilson. I'm sorry that I answered with my sister's full name. My name was Susan Sloane Simmons, but I changed it to S. Sloane Simmons because when people called me Susan at airports and in school on the first day, I didn't know who they were talking to.
Right.
So when I got married, I got rid of the Susan and just made it an S period.
But kept your last name.
I think, well, I kept my last name too, but it's S. Sloane, so now I'm S. Sloane Simmons.
Because when you get married, they give you, like, what's your name going to be. And so
And
that's your time to change your name.
And then years later, I met my friend C. Stephen Metzler, and I thought that was so cool.
Yes.
Because he was an initial too.
And I am just Casey. Just easy.
You are. It's a nick. Did you know it's a nickname?
It's a nickname, but it's actually, if you guys really want to know, now I don't have an alias anymore and I have no privacy whatsoever.
Oh, for God's sake.
My legal name now, technically, because it was on my social security card, when I sign like home loans and stuff, it
Don't
says,
give it away.
it says
Oh
my
God,
real
this is
name,
private.
Catherine, A, parentheses, Casey, end paren, Simmons,
Superstar.
which is just dumb.
Esquire.
Right. Bubble that up.
That's right.
Okay. So what else do we have going on here, Sloane? We're gonna have 10 minutes left.
Well, we're going to talk a little bit. We're going to tell Shayna about the baskets. And, real quick, Dakota, I want to let everybody know, I know we've done this, if we don't do it on every single one of these happy hours, we're fools. Because now it's kind of like the glue. This is back on the online store. It's our hand cleanse. Believe it or not, as fast as it comes in, it leaves. Dakota, would you please let Shanty know? Chancy, this is on the online store. It's delicious. It is a moisture, what's it called?
It's a moisture exchange.
Moisture exchange. So the alcohol, 66% alcohol, it takes the bad stuff off your hands. And then the aloe, which is in it, the aloe part, the aloe in alcohol. The aloe puts moisture back in. My hands have never been better. Anyway, I have to put that out there.
Katie, thank you very much. She was born Mary Catherine, but she's always been called Katie. And Suzanne tells us she was going to change her first name to Always. But Jim wouldn't change, her husband wouldn't change his name to Never.
I love it.
Chancy, get down. Get down.
Come on, get down.
Time to get down because we want to show some baskets.
Let's go.
Come on, jump down. Jump down. Good boy.
Good boy.
All right, so do you want to put a bunch of baskets? Grab them from over here, or do you want to get them from there?
You can go.
We
You're
promised
already
the
on way.
baskets. We're on the move. We're on the move.
So our largest basket.
I'll bring them over there, Dee.
Okay, first of all, you have to tell everybody this is going to get me into a
I'm going to come
drinking
get a
game.
drink.
Every basket is one of a kind because they are handmade from metal. Women learn how to weld.
Well,
So the entire frame of this is metal. You could stand on this, sort of God, like a step stool.
this is an empowerment situation, women empowerment group.
And then they take
Stitch.
old Cantha fabrics and sari fabrics, all kinds of great fabrics, and then they weave all of these designs into them. Every basket is a one. This is the largest size, and it's $34. And then we have the medium, which can also be worn as a hat.
Let's have a buying frenzy.
And these are not on our online store. You kind of have to tell us
Let's
to
have
pick
a
it up.
buying frenzy. Everyone buys one and we'll sell them all,
Yeah.
and then these women will be supported, and you will support your favorite store.
And the medium ones are
I'm just
28.
going with that. I'm just going with that. If anybody wants one,
And Dakota,
Let's
I'll just
go
let you
for it.
zoom around on those. But those are our great baskets. We have a couple more at the front of the store. We keep them at the front of the store because they sell really fast.
really fast. So,
Julie, we agree they're gorgeous baskets.
and they're really reasonably priced. Did you tell them the prices?
I did 34 and
The
28.
prices will blow your minds.
I can paint that car.
For $29.95. I want one. Julie wants one. Julie, do you want that size or do you, what size do you want? Give us the price point. So will you give them to us again?
34 and 28.
Maria already has
28, 34. 28,
34. So are you gonna? So just let us know. You can come by the next 3 days. We're open noon to 5, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Yep.
Or we can pull one for you and get it to you. Whatever works for you, Julie. We are here to help. Because when we're not goofing off and asking each other random questions and bearing our souls in sadness over the things going on in our global community, we are actually here to sell original works of art to
By
people.
artists who make great things.
By the way, guys, we're actually here to sell
Art.
stuff.
Mhm.
So that would be a wonderful way to support these happy hours would be to shop our online store or a store or buy gift certificates or whatever. 28, the one Sloane just lifted.
Okay, I'll get it.
Done.
Julie, I'll hold it for
Hi,
you.
Katie. Katie, I'm just joined. Okay.
Hi, Katie.
So are we? What time is it? Is it time for a closing?
Close. We can highlight on what we've been doing.
Does anybody? Okay, before we go that far, Claire has a skin tag. What you should do about it? Look up removing skin tags with dental floss. I'm dead serious, by the way.
Is she serious?
She's totally serious because she's weird and she's my really good friend and I love her dearly.
We're having a dermatological moment here.
Yeah, but just look up removing skin tags with dental floss. I swear to God, you will love it. Those are finished rugs behind you, question mark, or samples of fabric? Katie Wilson. So we have an entire rug line. This is it. These are all samples. Every rug in the collection, we have a sample for, okay? And on each sample, it tells us
Oh boy, look at that one. Let's go home.
yeah, what the rug's made of, how to care for it, and the sizes it's available in. And then we can order any of those sizes in. We also, what we're standing on, like around, and has been near us all this whole time, we stock a whole bunch of 2x3 rugs from this collection that we keep in stock all the time, and a handful of other rugs, some runners and things like that you can, in the industry they call it cash and carry.
I call
Right?
it cash and carry daisies.
Or cash and carry daisies. So they're like our cash and carry daisies. So you can always pick up a 2x3 rug in a snap. And so if you need a bath mat or whatever, it's like snap and snap. Or you can, okay, so sorry.
Hi, everybody.
Sloane's son just fell off the stool he was sitting on. And I want everyone to know
Life is good here.
I'm having a good day.
This is a good day.
So,
This is a great day. Best day we've ever had. Okay.
what other, we've talked about how to properly dip a chip
And remove a skin tag.
and remove a skin tag. Okay.
Because that's what we do here at Stuff. We talk about everything and everybody.
Julie would like you to place the hand cleanse in the basket
Yes.
because she will call you tomorrow and pay.
Julie, I'm putting this
Katie
in the
Wilson
basket.
will be in soon. And Katie, if you are needing, okay, if any of you are needing, not just Katie, if anyone's needing room rugs like runners, stair runners, big rugs, and you can check out the samples at no charge. We offer free shipping on all our rugs. Let me just throw that in there. But also, we do by appointment only on Thursdays. If you want to kind of dig into the rug collection, Thursdays is a great day to do it because you get our undivided attention. You get an hour block.
You're in the store alone.
You're in the store alone, and we can put stuff around and kind of make a mess like we did tonight. So if you're really serious about getting some rugs, please consider one of our by appointment appointments. You can come in Friday, Saturday, Sundays. You can also peruse anytime. But when you get kind of closer to being serious about it, then I would suggest maybe one of our appointment times. Okay.
Dakota, I'm going to hold this up so Dakota will zoom in on it. Or how do you want it? Do you want it down low? Too slow? Up low, down low, too slow. This will help everybody if you want to get in contact with us. Julie, I know you talked about calling. There's our phone number.
You're
Our
welcome,
online
Katie.
store, and how to play with us on Facebook, Instagram. I have to say, I think our Instagram page is really fun.
Sloane, say thank you to Katie.
Hi, Katie, and thank you, Katie.
She says thank you, and so no problem. You're welcome.
Thank
Okay.
you.
So, all right. Review. Okay. Number one, and most importantly, at the beginning of this happy hour, and what will now become a video on Facebook, so it can live on forever, because why wouldn't we just take all of our most embarrassing moments and just put them out on the World Wide Web forever? I mean, why not?
My grandmother called them shenanigans.
Shenanigans.
What are you girls up to with your shenanigans?
So,
I miss her.
I miss her very much. We started this happy hour talking about what is going on in the world, in our community, in our lives. I mean, honestly, guys, it's been going on for centuries, decades.
400
Racism
years.
is like, Jesus, come on. Really? I mean, it's been around for a while, folks. Forever. We talked about that, and we really struggled with whether or not to do this tonight, but we talked about in the beginning how we ended up here and how we were able to find inside of us the joy and happiness, and we tried to extend some of that to you. So we changed the format a little bit tonight. Normally we talk about the stuff we sell a lot more. Tonight we talked about questions and fun things, and we just kind of got off script a little, so to speak. Not that we ever have a script, so that we could tell you the most important thing. These are the two takeaways, in case you just want to hear them now real quick.
Takeaway one.
Takeaway one. We will always, we always have been, we always will be a safe place and space for anyone and everyone, no matter their circumstances and who they are, period.
End of subject. Done.
And number two.
Number two. Reason number two.
Human rights is not a political issue, and we believe in human rights for everyone. So,
End of subject. Period.
And then
Done.
And then as a little, not even a side note, number three, Black Lives Matter.
Every day.
End of subject. End of discussion.
Done.
Period. It's heavy.
It's heavy. It's supposed to be heavy. It's
Heavy.
supposed to be hard. But I want to thank you all for joining us for this happy hour. I think it had some happiness in it. I will say, if you've stuck with us for the full hour, and you truly have any questions that you'd ever want us to answer, we have had people begging us to answer a couple questions each time, and we might continue this idea. Maybe not 20 minutes dedicated to my color of blue, that I
Although
love,
I found that very
and was the
interesting.
cover of my wine bottle
And I
tonight.
promise to put my hair up next time because I'm hot and keep messing with
I
hair.
understand.
Normally at the end of the show,
We sing.
we sing a song
That
if
our
you've not
dad
been here
loves.
before that our dad loves. It's really, and it's very cheerful, but we're gonna edit it slightly. It's very easy.
Good, because I wasn't
Okay.
prepped for changes.
Okay. We're gonna
My
edit.
agent for
Very
the show
slight.
didn't tell me anything about changes.
Did you sign the contract?
I sure did.
Then you're here.
Yeah.
Okay. So instead of, it's gonna be if you can be happy and you know it.
If you can be happy.
Because sometimes I'm gonna explain
Sometimes
why.
people aren't happy.
Okay. So the song we sing is "If You're Happy and You Know It."
Clap your hands.
Clap your hands. What we're going to sing today, slightly edited, is "If You Can Be Happy and You Know It, Clap Your Hands." And the reason I'm saying that,
Is
sometimes happy is not a state you're in. Sometimes happy doesn't come. Sometimes happy is hard ass work, right?
sure.
And happy is what brings hope and joy.
So if
And
you
everything.
can be happy and
So if
you
you
know it,
can be happy and you know it, not today even, but you know you can be happy at some point,
okay.
and you know it, you're going to clap your hands.
Okay.
Is everybody ready?
So we're ready.
Is everybody ready?
Is everybody ready to sing?
We are ready,
Okay,
and
we're
we are
ready.
ready. Wait, if you're ready for us to sing, everyone hit the love
I'm hitting the love.
emoji. I'm hitting it right now. Everyone hit the love emoji if you're ready.
Okay, I'm ready.
If you're ready, ready?
Yes.
If you can
Can-
be happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you can be happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you can be happy and you know it, then your face will show it. If you can be happy and you know it, clap your hands. We love you.
We do. We'll see you next Thursday.
Keep on keeping on. We are all in this together.